treat people in a normal way rather than all how you do it now.
How I be doing now?
I'm not getting into that, man.
If you're just tuning in.
Not right now.
I'm your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm here with my best friend, Mitch. Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Hello, boyos and girlos. Cheers to the
I don't, what the fuck?
I don't know, man. I've been drinking. I've been drinking.
That is where I'm going to have to bleep that.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Before we get sued.
yeah, probably.
I'm sorry, bro. Beyonce's timeless. Don't be mad at me.
Anyways.
I miss you, Claire. I miss you, Claire.
Claire is gone again today, ladies and gentlemen.
For reasons. She always has reasons.
She's gone because, like, I don't know, Australia has an internet outage or some shit. I don't know. Get it together, Australia. In the meantime, that means, again, you have to listen to me fumble through all the places you can find us. Because even though this is my show, I don't know where you can find us. So add us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all your social media. And if, I don't know, where else can they find us, Mitch? Oh, yes. All your streaming services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Reddit. Google Podcasts. If you like the show, of course, share the show. We're also always building different things and new things for the show. So if we're not on the social media that you want us to be on, we'll probably be there in the future. Also, we're on TikTok, so add us on TikTok.
We're also on Reddit.
Oh, yeah, we're on Reddit, but like, you guys, like, if you don't talk to us on Reddit, we don't be doing shit on Reddit. So that's really what's going on the Reddit. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm all right. I'm not even. It's not even that I'm like super stressed. Just like, I'm good. I'm not like horrible. I'm not necessarily great. I'm dealing with shit.
All right. Well, you're gonna be better because I'm gonna be up there soon.
You wanted to bring that up so soon and absolutely, utterly ruin my mood that I just built back up to be in a good place. That's cool.
Mitch is in the greatest of moods because this week I'm moving up to New York. It's a great time. It's a great time to be me. I get to move up there with my girlfriend, my brother, and I'm less than 3 minutes away from Mitch, which is crazy.
Bringing that
it's
up.
So cool. I'm going to be bothering him all the time.
I'm going to look Sarah straight in the eyes and be like, it was you who picked this spot? Was it on purpose? Because I know Logan gave you the address. Was it on purpose, Sarah? Because I swear to God.
She literally picked everything about the spot first. She picked it all. You can blame her and my brother because both of them were in love with the spot. I wanted a 3-bedroom. It's a two like and a half or whatever. So
right. And he gets a room. Y'all share one. Okay.
Actually, no. Let me not put this all on Sarah. Here's what happened. This particular apartment, right? Yes, Sarah picked it, but they gave away the apartment. So like the landlord who was selling us the apartment or whatever, he had another identical apartment like just next door that he gave us. So it's an identical apartment. She found the first apartment, but the second one, if you want to go there, technically it's not her fault because the second one was just kind of given to us as, I feel bad for y'all because I gave away your other apartment, so I have this one. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which technically it has like more space, I guess. It's like a 2-bedroom and it has it's a 1.5 bathroom. So it has like a bathroom and a separate toilet. So in case you got to shit at the same time, you don't have to wait. So there you go.
Good. Yeah. I can't wait to see y'all spot. Oh, y'all next to a project building, by the way. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Actually, no, my brother told me that. And I was like,
next to a project. Well, it ain't bad over there, but and I don't like to judge anybody from any like income class or anything like that. So I haven't heard anything. It ain't too bad over there or anything like that. I think they're pretty cool, but you never know what can happen near, within, or around a project building, unfortunately.
I know. Austin was like, oh, Austin goes, my brother, he goes, oh yeah, there's a project. Like he goes to look at the building, like check it out for us. He goes, oh yeah, it's all right. Neighborhood's okay. There's a project in front of it, but it'll be fine. I'm just like,
I'll be honest with you. I walk by the building all the time. Everything's fine in the neighborhood. Like they don't be giving us problems, but like it's the thing. Like project buildings, you never know. Like someone could be going through something. And then all of a sudden, like half the block's riled up for no reason. You don't even know what the fuck happened, bro. Like, but I've never had any serious issues. But like, it's away from me because it's the 3-minute walk from you. So like, you turn the corner and like, shit can get really isolated in the neighborhood. Like, if shit's happening on this corner, regardless of it being 5 minutes away, I won't know about it at all. That's why I'm telling you, because it's like, I haven't heard or seen anything happen by the project building. Anytime I pass by the project building, everybody cool with me. But I'm a cool dude. You on the other hand,
I'm cool.
I don't know.
I'm cool. I'm cool. Just get out my way. That's it.
I don't mean cool as in like stylish. I mean cool as in level-headed, which only one of us is in
Thank
this
you for
particular
calling me
room right
stylish,
now.
because I am not.
Well, in any case, well, you're moving up to New York, so you're about to learn.
I'm
just saying, whether you want to or not. Whether you want to or not.
I love how you say that.
People gonna love the hair though.
Oh, I know. I'm ready.
People gonna love the hair.
I need to get my hair fixed up. I can't wait to get to New York, get my hair fixed up. Like, I am tired of this shit. Like, I am dry.
I mean, funny enough, if it makes you feel better, there's 2 barbers literally on the street, Central. Because to get to you, I have to cross Central technically, even though I have to turn onto Central and then turn up onto your street. But there's a barber shop going right down Central. So if you want to, like, I haven't gone because, like, I have issues socializing with people in general. So I just haven't gone into the barber shop. But I also don't even care about getting haircuts. But if you need something fixed up, there's like a barbershop like literally right there next to you. Literally right there. As well as a grocery store. But the good one's further away, but the cheap one's right there if you need shit. Damn,
if something pops off at the project, I'm just going to go to Mitch's house.
No, the fuck you not.
Yes, I am.
Just go to your house. It's
I'm
not
just
that
going to your
close to
house.
you. Why? Mitch,
Because
some shit
obviously
happened.
you live on the safe street. That's what you've been telling me for the last 30 minutes.
I never said I lived on the safe street.
That's what you kept trying to say.
I said you live near a project building, which I don't live near, but nonetheless, I never said I live on a safe street. Technically, I guess it would be though, because nothing pops off on my street. But like, I can't say any street in the neighborhood is safe.
How long you been living where you've been living?
So let's see. Moved there. Technically, I moved there when I came home from Thanksgiving, but I was squatting at first. Technically, I was squatting.
Dang.
Yeah, I was. Well, I didn't expect to stay there. It was only supposed to be a 2-week stay, and then because I was quarantining with COVID shit, because I went home for Thanksgiving. Oh shit! I gotta call my pops about that. But I went home for Thanksgiving, and then my uncle didn't want me to come back for Long Island because at the time when you flew back in, they would ask where you're staying, and they would quarantine the entire house. Right. So he was like, Mitch, if I miss work, I'm be tight as fuck. I pay bills in this house. You know this. You live in the house because I pay bills. I can't miss work. And I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. So I hit up my friend, so she lets me stay here because the room is vacant. And then I'm like, well, if I can try to move in, I can. They're like, Mitch, we're not sure because they do credit checks. And I was like, credit checks? The fuck is credit, my nigga? Like, what? which I have now. You know, credit score slowly rising as it should be.
Okay.
Get your credit right.
Okay.
But so I just went and talked to the landlords, and I got a guarantor, which was my father. He didn't have to pay for anything, but he like was a guarantor on my application, and I moved in. So I officially moved in like December. We technically counted as like January move in. So I've been here.
You got a guarantor
11 months.
for just your portion of the rent or for the rent?
Yeah, no, for just my portion of the rent, just moving in. Because they technically bill it all together, but just for like covering my rent.
Because like usually with if y'all don't know what a guarantor is, it's somebody who's guaranteeing that you'll pay your rent, and in the event that you don't, they'll pay your rent, right? Yeah. And of course, you probably got to get kicked the fuck out, but that's the story, right?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good with my landlord saying that though.
Anyways, so like usually what they ask for, this is what we had to find out, like looking for an apartment in New York, is what they ask for is 40 times the rent. Right? They usually ask for 40 times the rent. And if you don't have 40 times the rent, you got to have a guarantor who makes 60 to 80 times the rent sometimes. Yeah. And so like when Mitch said that, I'm like, what his pops do? Like it was just
not sell drugs, sir.
I didn't say that. I'm just like, okay, Mr. Rockefeller. Like it's just like
well, they kind of liked me and trusted me. And funny enough, things didn't start getting bad until recently, because otherwise I was on top of everything. My pops didn't have to cover nothing, because I hated having to get him involved anyway. I don't like asking my pops or my parents, period, for money.
Right.
But things only started getting like difficult now because I was dealing with shit. But like even then they saw, because he has like on his tax returns, technically he has like 2 businesses on there. Like in terms of doing taxes and real estate. Because that's what my father legally does. Oh. He does not sell drugs.
Why you say it like he does something illegal?
I know. I realized that, but I've been drinking and I was like, fuck, I got it. Like, shit. But anyway, but he has taxes and real estate businesses on his tax return, so it'll look good regardless.
Real
the
estate,
income that comes from that, like, yeah.
Yeah.
What you trying to say? What you trying to, oh. Yeah. No, don't do that, bro. Florida real estate. We ain't talking New York real estate. I ain't playing this game with you right now. I'm not playing this game with you right now. But in any case, like that was on like his tax return, so they're like he's good. And then from then on, mind you, I was just paying rent regardless. Like rent was getting paid easy regardless. It wasn't until I had to start this fucking school, Rock Nation School of Music, Sports, and Entertainment at LIU Brooklyn, in case you wanted to know. You know, shout out Rock Nation. But anyway, it wasn't until I started doing that where shit started getting difficult because I had to leave jobs to accommodate school. Right. And my mental health, because I had an entire thing happen. And so, yeah. But otherwise, shit was good. But even now that I'm behind on rent, because I have an open and honest relationship with my landlord, which I want to recommend you have, but I didn't get to meet your landlord. So meet your landlord and see if you can have that relationship, because it's better to be honest than try to hold shit off. Right. We had a tenant who used to live here who owed like literally like 10 stacks on rent back.
What?
And mind you, that's ridiculous for living here, because the rent isn't more than like 900. Well, the like top rooms get into like a little bit above 900, but the rent isn't more than 900. So he owed 10 stacks back on rent. I ain't gonna get into names, but I was like, that's crazy.
That's for his part of rent, though.
Yeah, that was specifically for him, but it was like, how did that happen? You know what I mean?
He paid $900 for a room?
The room he was in was the most expensive one, so yeah, but he was living there like a while.
Damn.
And I'm trying to make sure I don't get to that. So I was open with them and like, yo, what are options? What can we do? And now I'm working with them to make sure we get everything covered. And I mean, that's what I would recommend to you if you can. But you can't have that with all the landlords. Some landlords is grimy, skeezy, shiesty.
He said some. He's being generous with that word.
I am being generous in terms of New York landlords. I don't even deny it. I got really lucky. Like, I have a real good relationship with my landlords. When I first met them, they were respectful, you know. And there's a stereotype with Jewish landlords at that, like Jewish slumlord landlords. But like I got lucky. They're respectful. I'm respectful to them. We communicate openly all the time. We never really have an issue. So I hope you can have that relationship with your landlord, because that's how it should be, New York. That's how it always fucking should be. Red done.
God. Oh man, is this gonna turn into a New York podcast? Since like
you're the one who started it, bro. I didn't tell you to tell everybody who was moving 3 minutes next to me.
I just think that's amazing.
And I think you plotting, but that's a separate story.
I've gone from living down the hall to this man to just living down the street. Like it's just like
it makes me happy. It makes me happy, yes, but then it also just is like, oh my God, bro. I left college. I left that specific portion of college behind a long time ago, bro.
I know exactly how you feel when you say that too.
Bro.
Like, that part of my life is over.
Like, God, it's done and it's done, bro. And then here goes Logan, just because he can, knowing the effect it'll have, even though he wasn't the problem at college, so that's a good thing. But knowing the effect it'll have on him, he was like, yo, Mitch, guess how far I live away from you? Just teasing me with it. It's almost the same. So because I had to go up and then over. And then when I had to get to your room, I had to go out
I'm gonna
and
tell
technically
everybody.
up
I feel like
and
I'm
over. That's
I feel like
funny.
I should tell. I just feel like I should take a screenshot and I should send it to Dimitri, just so he can say what.
Maybe he'll visit. Maybe he'll fucking visit. He's staying at your place.
Yo, that would be dope if he visited.
No,
No,
it
he's
would be good
definitely
to see
staying
him.
at your place.
What do you mean? No, he can't. He has an entire family. He can't stay at my place.
I don't think he would bring his whole family.
Why not?
I don't know. Does he
Well,
travel?
he probably just get a hotel or something.
Yeah, he's fine.
He'll be good. You know, he'll be good. He's got his shit. He's got his shit in order. Surprisingly enough, out of all of us, he's got his shit the most in order.
I mean, just because he be knocking people out don't mean he got his shit together.
Well, no, it's because I wasn't saying that. It's because he has a family. I was like, he has his shit in order.
That doesn't mean he got this shit together either. But he do have a beautiful family. Like he be like,
yeah, he does. He does.
like he
They
has
look
a
happy.
nice. It's really weird that he's like the responsible,
Yo, I don't want to
cool
talk about it.
person. Like,
I don't want to.
bro,
We bring up Dimitri far too much, bro, because I know both of us are just like sitting here just mad. Like I know it ain't Dimitri with a full ass family being a goddamn family man. You know, what I'm saying? I'd be like, I know.
Out of everybody,
Out of all of us, Chris included. Chris included, bro. But it's Dimitri. It is what it is. It's what it is. It's what it is. And I ain't mad at it. I'm actually just really happy for him.
I feel like there's just like paths we didn't take in the RPG.
That he did, yeah, facts.
Like he accidentally fell into. Like we had the options. We had the speaking option, and we just didn't.
We just kept going with me. And Dimitri was just.
You keep picking the chaotic choice. You just keep picking the wrong choice on purpose. Like
You keep keeping the chaotic choice. I try to keep it neutral, but that don't always get you in the right places. People don't always fuck with neutral the way you'd like them to.
You know what's funny? Neutral on like when you play like certain games and you just try to be like, okay, I'll be right in the middle. Sometimes
Neutral
that'd be the worst
fucked
one.
up,
It get
bro.
you
It gets
fucked
you
up.
And that has been my life. Being like, what did I do wrong? It's what you didn't do. It's like, oh damn, okay. Well,
I'd be
I'm
picking
sorry.
the choice. I'd be like, what's the happens? Like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna say if I say this to him? What's he gonna do?
Please don't. I would just really advise, as your friend and sometimes counselor, for whatever reason, that you just not do that as much when you move up here. Is all I would advise. Is all I would advise.
I feel that. No,
oh,
for real.
goodness.
Like I feel like. But then you ever get the feeling that when you finally step out of your comfort zone and you pick the option that you wouldn't normally pick, that's when you really get double fucked. Like you're just like, okay, I'm gonna do the good thing for once, and then it's like, fuck you. Like it's just,
But not by the person who you did the good thing for.
No,
By what the good thing entails.
all the circumstances and everything.
They were like, yeah, we need your help. It was like, help. All right, worthy traveler, I will help you. All right, cool. So there's a mob of goblins, an army of goblins coming to decimate the village. My wife was kidnapped by them, and I need you to save her first. Also, there's a flood coming. Could you fix that somehow? You motherfucker. You motherfuckers. I see it on a training day. You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. Hey, Jake! Bro, straight up, bro.
Oh no!
Straight up, bro.
It is. That's. Ugh.
Straight up, bro. Well, I'm not hoping for that for you, by the way.
No. I'm hoping that I do exactly what I came to do, which is
What did you come to do?
New York. In New York.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've technically asked you that. I just kind of
Why
assumed.
am I moving to New York? I don't know. I was feeling all stressed out today. I even asked myself that question. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Do it all the time.
It's just, I live in a little town right now. I can expose my town because like I'm leaving here and this episode is not going to be out when I'm here. So I live in a little town called Ocala, Florida, right? And this place has friendly enough people, but it's trash. It's garbage. This is a garbage hole in the wall town.
God,
this
bro.
town sucks. Everybody who lives in this town knows this town fucking sucks. And then you know what the fucked up part is? Every like 2, 3, 4 years, I don't know what their elections are like. They have like an election for mayor. Stop doing that. Stop. You pick the same dude every time. Just stop. It's not, and it doesn't change anything. It's not like you picked him and then he's like, oh, yeah, we're really going to do better this year if you pick me again. No, he just keeps getting picked. I met him one time. I met the mayor.
Nice.
Yeah, he asked me, like, what my political opinions was. I was just like, whatever. And then he was like, whatever. Like, it was like, it wasn't even a whole conversation. You would think with your mayor, you'd have like a real conversation. He's like,
well, when you
like?
go, whatever, he's supposed to go, whatever. Well, with this kind of voice, whatever, my son. Whatever, is that what you said, young man? All right, well, listen, why don't you tell me why you feel that way? Let's talk about what's getting down. Let's get down to business.
Yes.
You live in a rich town, and we got to figure out what's happening with you, young blood. And if you're not getting that kind of talk, maybe you need a new mayor. I'm at
a dead end job. He's asking me, like, he's trying to talk to the people. Ask me like how I feel about the town. I'm just like, And then like, that's his town. He's the mayor. Like that, like he should be like, oh, why do you feel like, like he just like left. He just like went on with the conversation. Like I ain't say that shit about his shitty ass town. Like, you know what I mean? There's this road that runs right through the middle of town, right? This is back when Mom was alive, right? And so, like, to get to my old place, like, you get to a stop sign, there's CVS on the corner, you take a right, and then, you're almost there, right? But if you're at that stoplight, right, if you keep going, let's say you went past that stoplight, and you just kept going, right? And you kept going, you kept driving. What you would find is absolutely fucking nothing. There's nothing down there. There's not a goddamn thing down there. This town has nothing in it. And I wish that, anybody who lives in this town, it's no shade on y'all, but I hope you all escape. I hope you all get out.
Wow.
Yes. Because it's not, unless you're like a retired Republican, it's not doing nothing for you. Like, there's no opportunity here. Like, people just like working in dead-end jobs and shit. That's all. That's all they doing here. Unless they're a doctor or a Republican or both, That's it.
Unless they're a doctor or Republican.
Yeah.
Or both. That's it. Shit, man. I'm sorry. Well, okay. Let's talk a little bit about, because I don't think that's really what is, but that's how you, for instance, feel. Let's talk about small town versus, big city. But then talk about small town mentality versus big city mentality, because those can exist in either or. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not the fact that your small town has any actual problems. Ocala, I'm sure you're not that horrible, but Logan's lived there, so he gets to speak on it more
y'all
than
fucking
me.
Suck.
As he
fine, I say it like this: we all fucking suck here. We suck.
Okay. In any case. Sometimes there's just some mentality you can't find in certain places, and you got to move. And that's what really matters, people. Not Logan's feelings about his small town sucking. The fact that he's looking for more, as some people are. Sometimes some people aren't, and that's okay. But sometimes you definitely are, and I can attest to that myself as a person who moved to New York City at 19 years old. And like sometimes you need more, and you're not getting it out of the place where you are. And you got to make a change. And sometimes making change is scary. Me and Logan earlier were talking about how his girlfriend and his brother seem kind of stressed. And he's like, I'm excited, which they are too, but they're also kind of nervous because most people aren't even used to leaving their hometowns. Most people grow up and spend the rest of their days in the same place they were born. Nothing wrong with that. But some people can't do that. Some people need to get up from the nest and just move on out and see what they find. Become comfortable with the uncomfortable. And for Logan, that's what he's needing at this venture in his life. I said venture, in this chapter in his life.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Because sometimes you may have a big city mentality, but you live in a small town. And trust me, I've met many people living in a big city with small town mentalities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily about the place, but it is most definitely about you. And that's what matters most, Logan.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll agree with that. Because, on one hand, I was thinking while Mitch was talking, I do say that the town sucks. It does. But, like, and it's no shade on the town. It's like, I like the town better than some other towns. Like I wouldn't want to live in Leesburg, for example, or some shit like that. Like if you're from Ocala, if you're from Central Florida area, you know what I mean by like Leesburg. All right, I wouldn't want to live there. Some people live in Leesburg; they don't mind it too much. I definitely wouldn't want to live in Oxford or some shit. I'm just naming all the fucking Central Florida towns now. I wouldn't want to live in some of these places, but I'd live in Ocala if I had the choice. But it's not. It's like the choices aren't that different. You know what I mean? But these are all like small towns and like people trying to make it in their own little way. And like you get to a point though where like the town doesn't give you enough for you to grow. You know, it's like being in a plant. What Mitch is like saying is like it's like you're being in a you're a plant that needs to be uprooted and put into a bigger pot because you're just not getting enough like nutrient to yourself, you know? Sarah, for example, she's a vegan. We can't find a vegan spot to save our lives here. You know what I mean? So she can't eat. My girlfriend
have plenty of options over here.
My girlfriend hasn't eaten in 8 months, you know? So this is a problem. I'm just anyway, what I mean is that Ocala is fine. Ocala is fine as a town, and like the people here are fine. It's just that there's a lack of opportunity here, you know. And I just wish that I wish that the people in the town had more opportunities for themselves and could do more for themselves. I wish that there was a different way forward. But in the meantime, I'm getting older. I need to get the fuck out. I need to expand. There's things I want to do in my life. There's things I want to see happen. And I can't see them happen here because we just don't have what we need here, you know. And so, hi, Mitch. Mitch is back. Mitch, I was just telling them that, you know, that this town is fine, but like, you know, and I hope that people get what they need from the town and that the town does get better, you know.
As you would hope for any place, right?
As I hope for any place. I'm not really trying to talk bad about nobody or anything, but I'm just, you know, having a laugh about it. But, you know, at the same time, I can't worry about that for me. I need to get to bigger and better for me. So I have to find, you know, what I need to do. Like I have this thing going on here that we're on, and I'm trying to make this bigger. I'm trying to make this pop. There's other things I want to do besides this that I want to make pop. Then I can't do down here that the people, they don't have the mentality for because, you know, one, they don't have the meals and the resources for, you know, to even help me with doing something like this. You know what I mean? Just to rope you and Claire into like this ragtag thing right here is a lot on itself. To like ask somebody who's actually around here to do some shit like that would also be a lot. You know what I mean? And it just is what it is, you know. But I've been to New York before. My brother's lived in New York for like 5 to 6 years now. I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm happy that I'm moving, and I'm happy that I'm going to be in New York. I'm happy that since by the time the show comes out, I will be in New York. I'm happy that I'm in New York now. So so we can say like,
and New York gives you a happy fuck out of here. You'll get used to that.
Are you a New Yorker yet?
I mean, this coming June will be 10 years. So, and I've been trying to be respectful because that's who I am. So at 10 years, like, I'm technically already a New Yorker, but at 10 years, I'm like, New York. Because I don't even know if I'll ever move back to Florida.
I'm ready to be like...
I love South Florida, but like, I don't know.
I'm so excited to be in New York. I'm ready to be like that scene in Coming to America where they're just wearing all Knicks shit. Like, just like...
Don't do that unless you're a Knicks fan. Don't do that unless you're a Knicks fan. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, for real though.
Don't do that.
I was looking at I was so excited to go to New York, right? That like I'm like, oh, I gotta find fun things for everybody to do. Like I was like, when maybe Austin would like to go to a Knicks game, you know? So I'm looking up Knick game prices and shit, you know.
Don't do that. Don't do
Why
that.
not?
Ooh, don't do that.
It sounds fun.
Because those tickets don't come cheap.
They're
But
not
up to
cheap,
you.
but if I'm working and I can afford it, I mean, like, you know, drop a little, you know.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Be social because I'm super like at this point in my life, I'm just
I was
like
thinking about taking
go
you.
out to do shit. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why not?
Thanks. Don't do that. That's okay.
That'd
That's
be
okay.
so fun.
Yeah.
Mitch,
Man.
This is what Mitch hates the most about me living 3 minutes away from him because I'm gonna rope him into so much bullshit. Like
No, you are not.
He says he says that.
I'm gonna sit in my room.
It's a lie.
And chill.
I used to sit in Mitch's room for like an hour before we went out
No reason.
because I was trying to get him out the room. He didn't know that, but I was like, I'm gonna get him out this room because we're gonna go do something, and we did. I'm Mitch. The Lord is sending me to you. He's sending me to you with Knicks tickets. Look at his face. You know how many New Yorkers are like, well, shit, I'll take the tickets. Like,
Pending. Well, Knicks fans, so it depends.
I mean, I think a
but
basketball
okay.
game in general is fun, especially the seats are decent.
Yeah, I like basketball. I won't lie. I'd go see because I saw a Yankees game the first time, like on accident, like first time when I first moved up here, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I was also like, because baseball is not like one of my favorite sports, but basketball I really enjoy. I'll enjoy some basketball, some football, some soccer.
My brother took me to like a opener game, Yankees versus Red Sox, like 5 years ago.
Oh, that's some deep beef.
It was so fun though. Like it was the fun. We came late though. We came into like the last like 4 or 5 innings or something.
Yeah.
And so like because you shouldn't be there that long for a game. I'm not a baseball guy like that. So like some people be like, yeah, you should be there the whole game, but like I'm okay with a couple innings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so like we were there, and I actually do kind of wish that we were there for maybe 1 or 2 more innings because when we were there, it was like the funnest shit. Like it was like not just the game. Like you're watching the game and all, but like it's the crowd, it's like the hot dogs, it's everything. It's like the whole atmosphere is like fun as shit. It's just there's so much energy, so much great energy around. It's like positive. There's drunk white boys there. It's fun. It's just a good time. You know what I mean?
Drunk white boys don't always equate to fun for me.
No, but if they're in the distance and you see what they doing their fuck shit over there, like it's great. Like, when you get to
That's actually facts. You're gonna get a lot of that. Wait until you get in touch with the LIRR, technically.
when you get to like watch drunk white people in the distance, it's like National Geographic. It's the best thing in the world. It's like
And moving on.
I'm on one tonight.
Oh, jeez. And I was the one who was drinking tonight. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Yo, tell us why you don't like the N-word.
That's the first thing you want to talk about, bro?
Yep.
Damn it, you wait until I'm in a state like this.
Yes. I could wait till you get worse, but
No, I stopped drinking at this point. I wasn't trying to go heavy. I was just like, taking a little buzz off. So, okay. So when I say N-word, I'm never talking about nigga because I use nigga as much as the fuck I want because apparently I have the right to do that and I have the right to do that. When I say N-word, I'm talking about nigger, which I don't really like saying myself or hearing out loud. Now, the reason I don't normally like using nigga as much is because whenever we're using the word nigga, we're still technically also referring to the word nigger, which I despise the way an African king despises a white explorer who brings an army along with them to take all his resources.
okay.
You feel what I'm saying? But it's like we have this thing with, black community at large, you know what I'm saying, with like the reclamation of the word nigga. Because, like, all nigga is the Southern way of saying nigger. When you think about it. Because in the South, you wouldn't necessarily hear them being like ER because we do a lot of A's for everything. So, I was like, yeah, I had some butter, but, Southerns don't go butter. Yeah, you got some butter? Pass that butter. Yo, so rather than being like, hey, look at all those niggers. Hey, look at all them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
This is turning into the Dr. Umar Johnson podcast real fast and quick.
Oh, I didn't know it was gonna get there. But you wanted my internal. So it's like, and mind you, I'm from Florida, so both me and Logan know this. Like, we're both dudes who didn't even use the word nigga like that regularly. Even to this day, we don't use it as regularly in like speech. And I feel like most black people don't in general. But like, there is still a part of me that anytime like I say it, there's just that hint to me that's just like, I don't even really like this word.
Do you feel like you say it when you're more comfortable or more like socially?
No, specifically either when I'm with a group of black people funning around. Let me break it down. The reason that I use the word nigga, period, is so that black people around me, black community in general, don't feel uncomfortable around me. There's this thing. There's this thing where the black community, and it depends on like which margin, where the black community feels real weird and suspect around people who are like, around black people who are like, don't use that word.
Yeah.
There's a thing, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's a thing.
No, because I'm one of them. I feel that way too. Like when other black people are like, don't use that word. I'm like, are you the ops?
Which brings in a whole nother set of conversation. Because, for instance, I didn't get comfortable using nigga until I moved to New York.
Because it's one thing for somebody to be uncomfortable with the word. It's another to tell people that they shouldn't use the word.
Which is true.
It like brings it to another level. And it's like,
which is true.
I don't necessarily use it all the time. And I don't necessarily say it all the time, right? But to be like, oh, y'all shouldn't say that. It's like, nigga, please. Like, it's just like, it's like, get away. Leave me alone.
So here's, I don't even know if I'll say the next, but here's one thing to bring up. So it's like, all right, listen. When a white person uses the word, we get uncomfortable whether there's a hard ER at the end or whether it's an A at the end, period, for obvious reasons that I don't have to get into.
Right.
So now, us being black people amongst each other and funning around or whatever, it's like, sure, I get it. Like, it's okay for us. But there is still that level of me that has to understand in terms of just like the cognitive realization. It's like, okay, there's a reason I don't like when they say it. Now, just because me and my homies feel comfortable using that with each other doesn't actually take away that sentiment, unfortunately. It doesn't all of a sudden make it better.
Uncomfortable both ways.
Well, no, I didn't say that. And so thank God you asked that so I could say no, I didn't say that.
Yes.
Because there's a large difference between when a white person uses it.
Right.
But nonetheless, it's the devaluing of each other that stems from colonialism.
Like, what are we doing here? Like,
that stems from white supremacy. I don't even feel it that way. It's just when you think about it at the root, because, niggas, oh man, one of my favorite lines from Power, if y'all watch Power, but it wasn't even one of the main characters. They was in a room with it was Tommy, the white dude, the black white dude, chilling with all the people that he hires because they cool with him. And like, he had killed somebody and left. And then the niggas that was left there was like, he was like, yo, I can't believe you just did that shit. And then one of the homies, nerdy looking dude, was like, niggas die every day, B. And then kept shit moving. And now when you in the streets, and for all my street people out there, all niggas in the streets moving, however you got to move, because I don't cast judgment, but you know that sentiment. Niggas die every day, B. I ain't got time to make a big deal about it. But the truth is, fuck that shit, make a big deal about it. That was one of us. That was another human life. And we devalue human life in this world, in this global scheme of things, far too often. And for me, there's just still that sentiment of like, damn, when I'm calling somebody my nigga, rather than calling them my brother or king, or, something more uplifting, it just still hits me with that sentiment because it's like, wow, look at us still, after all this time, about 400 to 500 years of it after all this time, devaluing each other exactly the way white supremacy wants us to.
Do you feel
that's the sentiment in me that tugs at my heartstrings still.
So you feel like we're devaluing each other to use the word that way?
Even though it's endearing, yeah, there's still a part of me. Because now it's become an endearing term and it's just like, fuck. But like, that's kind of backwards. But you know, black people, we're going to do what the fuck we want, which is what I love about us in truth. But like at the same time, it's like, yo, because that's not a word that entered, you know, we specifically, and we had a lot to do with the English language, with the American English language, you know what I'm saying, period. Like, I don't have to debate that with anybody. Right. We have so much till this day to do with the American English vernacular. Stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that one specifically had nothing to do with us. Like, at all. Nigga, nothing to do with us. We just, you know, we take shit back. We use it however we want to use it. Hey, white folk, the word you made, you no longer allowed to use, which is the only thing that makes me go, haha, that's kind of cool, because you literally told white supremacy and the white man, hey, that word you invented that you wanted to use, you no longer get to use that, bitch.
Right.
Not you no longer get to use that nicely. You no longer get to use that, bitch. Right. And that's the only part. That is the only part. And I stress that because that's the only reason why I can even feel comfortable letting it come out my mouth.
But I think if that part didn't exist, well, I don't know. Because I have like this, there's this thought process, right? And like, I know that black people like to joke about this, is that even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said nigga. And like,
is that true, by the way? Or is that just the Boondock skit? Because, like, oh my God, that was a great one.
Well, I think the Boondock skit is part of that. But it's just like, I think I've heard people say that he did before. And I'm not sure if that was like me just like Mandela affecting, you know? You know what the Mandela effect is? Is like
when you like make up something, you thought it went this way, but it's not exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's that or if it's just like, you know, but there's a part of me that's like, that believes it. And there's a part that like, of that like mythos or whatever that would like horrify people, you know? Because like, he's like the epitome of like upstanding black citizen in today's like mythology, right?
Yeah.
And for me, that's why I would probably prefer him saying it, because it humanizes him a bit, you know? And if we can humanize, well, yeah, it humanizes him.
He's human. What? He's humanized in general. My man was out here protesting, going through shit. My man got locked up. What you mean? Or do you mean in terms of like the mythos behind him?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like,
okay,
he's overly mythological. I can't speak today. I'm sorry.
Mythologized, I think, is that
word. Mythologized, I think.
Mythologized.
We don't have Claire, and it shows.
She's not the only smart person.
He's overly mythologized to the point where like even like conservatives will be like, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day,
and even though like, fuck you.
Even though they're like taking away black people's voting rights and shit, like the same shit, right? Oh
yeah, the same person. It's
like, you should be more like him. Like they'll say like shit like that,
and I'm just like, okay. Because you don't know what the fuck that means.
So, like, because that exists, right? There is certain things that need to be humanized about a person like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, can't you be a good person and say nigga? Like, can't you? So, like, can't you do, like, amazing things? And oh wait!
I just felt like we crossing a territory that feels like if a black person born in the 50s is listening to this right now, I know they sit here smacking their teeth like, I know the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't.
That's what I'm here for.
You better calm your salty ass down, young blood. And I'm just like, yo, take it easy, chill, relax. We would never disrespect.
That is what I'm here for. I am here to make you think about things you don't want to think about. But seriously, it's like, we need that. And I hear what Mitch says about why he doesn't like saying the N-word. And
still use it. Just
yeah,
as a
so
part
like,
of me.
yeah, you guys got to take it with a grain of salt when you hear him say that. It's like
I'm just speaking the truth. I am working on getting to a point in my personal life and in my music where I
I'm
no longer use the term.
I'm trying not to
because
cuss.
that's how I really feel.
I'm trying not to cuss.
Cussing. Oh no, like
I don't know if that's gonna work out especially since I'm moving to New York and stuff. But I'm trying.
Have fun.
I feel like that's my next thing is that I'm gonna just try not cussing.
I was cussing less before, and not much. Well, okay, much less because I was still cussing, but I wasn't cussing as much. Then I moved to New York, and
but I'm not gonna be like one of those cussers that be like, "Oh, sugar." Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. That's stupid.
No,
I'm not
no.
That.
Either you commit to it or
Either
not. You don't gotta play
it
this.
or you're not.
Like,
Yeah,
what?
it's like, come on.
No, we ain't got
you know
time
what
for
you're
that.
doing.
If you're not, that's only acceptable when you're around children. That is entirely fully acceptable when you're around children. But otherwise, like, nah. Listen, put your big boy pants on, big girl
Them
pants
kids
on.
need to get their big boys pants on. If y'all don't get the fuck on out of here, like just
Okay, once again, it is acceptable around the children to be like fudge. You can say fudge. If y'all don't get the fudge out of here, damn it, I'm so tired of this spit.
If y'all don't get the fucking fudge out of here, I swear to God, did I do it right?
Children of the no, not it. Anyway, moving on. Moving
Anyways.
forward.
No, like I've destroyed this topic, but like no, I mean I hear what Mitch is saying when he says that like he feels like we're devaluing each other. I don't feel that way.
Not in the like.
You mean because of like the history of the word?
It's
all
like
that?
not in the super conscious way, but like subconsciously, like we have to admit there is some cognitive dissonance going on there because you don't want to devalue
like the
your fellow
word
brother.
itself has negative connotations. That's why white people can't say it, right? I'm no fool about it. You know what I mean? I know that there's a negativity to it, and there's a history that is negative to it.
White skin and the word nigga period is in fact itself a negative connotation. that just is what it is, unfortunately.
I like how Mitch acts like I'm the radical when he says shit like that. Like he goes way like that statement right there went far above and beyond anything I just said today. Like,
it is still in fact a true statement for the record. Let the record state.
Anyway, what I'm saying
in any case,
saying is that I don't feel like it devalues because we reframed what the value of the word is. You know,
I hear that.
Once the value of the word became you no longer could receive value from this word by devaluing me, then I think like that's when the conversation changes. I know there's a lot of older black people that feel that way, that like they feel that exact same way. But I don't feel that way because like if my people can like use it in songs and stuff and make billions of dollars off of it through an industry, and then like white people still can't say it like without getting fired from their jobs and shit, or like people can just pull up tweets on Twitter and then like get white people fired for that shit, the power balance, at least for this particular word and subject, has changed drastically. You know what I mean? Like it's just changed completely differently, where it's like, yes, I do. Like it was like what I was saying last week about Chappelle, where he was like mad he couldn't say the F word on TV, but like he could say the M word, right? And it's like, well, if he was talking to a black person, they'd be like, yeah, because we niggas. Like, you know, it's just like we have that power to do that. We can do that because it's ours now. You know what I mean? Yeah, some things have dirty and negative connotations to them. They have dirty and negative past to them, but that's America. Like America has a dirty and negative past to it. Am I supposed to stop living in America now too? You know what I mean?
It is funny though. I do want to make and I don't want to like come across and offend any of LGBTQ members or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But the thing specifically with nigger and like the N-word period, and I hope any white person hearing this just like cringes whenever they hear me say that out loud, because you should. Shit, although everybody should when they hear the word. But nonetheless, because nigger, that was the specific word creation definition. With like the F word, it's horrible that became that, because that wasn't specifically a slur. I'd like to know the history on how and why
there is
that
a
became
history
a slur
about it.
for
And
homophobia.
it is a slur because what it means is that like I'm gonna fuck this up. I think the
word
word
you already might be on the wrong.
the F word
Because its original definition is a burning pile of sticks.
Exactly. And so that's why is a negative because of that. It's just the same type of lynching that would go into like blackness if we were to translate it that way, is because the reason why you would call a gay person that is because that thought process would be that you would tie a bunch of gay people together and burn them like you would a pile of sticks. Yeah.
Fair.
So that's
valid as fuck.
So that's why that word is horrible.
Because I wasn't like
no,
trying
I know
to
you wasn't.
devalue.
I'm just saying the history. I'm just preaching. So like that's the history of that, and that's why that word is necessary. Is so bad to anybody who doesn't know. And Dave Chappelle. I
still love you, Dave.
But read a book, Dave. Read a book.
He probably has. Probably
needs to read another one.
I think he's good.
But that's why that's that horrible. That's why that's that bad, you know, because it literally means that just like burning witches or whatever else, or just lynching niggas, it means that you would take a bunch of gay people, roll them up. I don't know if anybody's ever actually done that, but like that's what it means. That why wouldn't we just do it? You know what I mean? Like it means like why not? Like what's the harm in doing harm to like a gay person? That's what it means. So like when you're now, not everybody knows that history, obviously, and it's just like but not everybody knows the history of the N word, right? Like the direct definition and who is the first person to say it, you know, and all this and that. Like not everybody knows that, but I am a believer that like, you know, things when they come from a certain origin, they always carry like that essence about them. Like where you've come out of the ground, those elements follow you. You know what I mean? So like if you take the human body, for example, like being carbon based and everything, like most of the minerals you find in the earth can be found in the human body. That's why we need most of them back to us, you know, to balance ourselves out, you know, like just where you come from, the origins of things that follows you is what I mean. So like just the spirit of that thing will follow that word, you know, regardless of what gay people do with that word, just like the spirit of the word, the N word will follow that word, regardless of what black people or anybody else does with that word. But things change, you know, things change as far as like how we use things, what things mean to us in the modern day and things like that. I feel like back to my earlier point is like, I get where people are coming from where they're like, this is the way things used to be. But like, if I'm able to use that in gentle conversation with somebody else who also shares my experience, and then I'm also able to take that same word as a threat from somebody who not only would not share my experience, but would benefit from the harm in my experience, you know, then that to me changes everything. You know, that to me is the type of change I want to see America go through, is that we realize power imbalances and then we do something about it in which it benefits the person who is suffering from that imbalance. You know what I mean? And so that's where I stand on the word. That's not to devalue Mitch's opinion, because I feel like any black person's opinion about the N word is valid.
It's theirs. And it's there.
Not just theirs. It's just fucking valid. Like, I feel like my opinion about the N word is right, but I also feel like because Mitch is black and he's like, he gets to decide what he wants to do with that word, his opinion is also right. What I don't feel like is any white person or any other person who isn't black's opinion about the N word is right.
Matters,
like,
because it doesn't
matters
at all.
You know, at all.
all.
Like, if I decide I don't want you using it, just don't, like, or get punched in your mouth.
I believe Joyner Lucas had. It was. I hate the video. I forget the song. You know the video I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's why I sighed.
Hate that fucking video so much. But nonetheless, shit. I know, bro. It was such. I'd like completely
the one where he's like talking to the Trump supporter or some shit.
Yeah, and he's a real fucking racist. And then the response was there was bars, but it like wasn't what I needed on level at all. But nonetheless, in the song on the black part, like he brings a point. He's like, "Yo, maybe black people shouldn't use nigga," and you know, and that's a conversation for us to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe you have a point about that, but that ain't got shit to do with you. And that's
Exactly.
the full true sentiment. Regardless of how I feel about the music video, that's the true sentiment. That's a discussion between us. We do not, and I state this again to all other peoples, Caucasian, Asian, Native American, Native Indigenous, you know what I mean, Hispanic, like, your opinion on the subject, on the matter, means absolutely nothing. I don't want to hear about what you have to think on the subject. Right. That's for me to discuss with my people.
Right.
And me personally, I'm on the side where I'm like, maybe we shouldn't use the word. Nonetheless, I don't need you to be like, yeah, Mitch, you tell him, because I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up, because I don't want your help on the subject. I don't need your help on the subject. I'll talk to all of my people, the billions of them, by myself. It is not a subject for you to have any part or say in.
Thank you.
And rant. And rant.
No, like, I feel that in the depths of my soul, because I don't think I could say it any better than that. I would just add to it that, like, I'm not even gonna add shit to that. That's just where I want to be with it.
You took the deep side that was felt for everybody.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. That's just it. The only thing I could think of is that, like, you know, it's the same situation where, like, you're like, oh, that's my brother, I can hit my brother or whatever. And it's not that I'm saying I'm doing harm to somebody else, but it's like, what the sentiment behind that is like, that's my family. And what happens between me and my family, you need to stay the fuck out of. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that has nothing to do with you for people who don't understand from the outside. It just doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not your business.
It just unfortunately is not.
Leave it at that.
And I do say unfortunately, because I wish we did live in a world where you could be helpful in some matter on the subject. But sadly, you just cannot. So you have to stay out of the way and just hope and pray for the best. That's about all you need to do. Just I'll hope and pray on that. Or whatever you do to, like, bring goodness and positive energy to people, because that's about all that you can do. Like, it really just isn't anybody else's business but ours. And it's annoying because, like, I've been in those conversations with fellow black people where they'd be like, yo, you sound like you a house nigga, which is the most offensive thing to hear from another black person.
It is, yeah.
But being who I am, I gotta keep myself level and be like, it's okay, God, forgive them, God, they know not what they do. But nonetheless, that's for me to... Bro, I have a friend who you'll meet who I literally had a similar conversation with, who I love. That's one of my brothers. But I'll get into the worst arguments with him. But because that's family, like, I'll deal with it afterwards. But nonetheless, I'll get into those where it's like, oh, I'm the slave. I'm the house because I feel that way. But it's like, that's how I feel. Ain't no white person put that in me. I'm the freest nigga you'll ever meet in your fucking life. Period. Period.
Facts. You are.
And I'll say that shit brazenly, unashamed to whoever black person thinks I'm wrong. Come see me. Come literally see me.
Because like, some of the shit that I watch Mitch do or want to do, I'd be like, that's white people shit. And then, like, I have to reframe my mind. Because
and
I'm
here
watching
comes Mitchell living his freest black life.
Wait, hold on. I got a good point about this. Because, like, I watched Mitch do that shit. Like, today, you posted something on Instagram where, like, the lady was in the wheel. And she was like...
I don't think that's the best example, but I get where you're going. I get where you're going.
Because, like, this white lady, she's in a wheel. And she's like... It's like a hamster wheel, but, like, she can also, like, dip below it and shit.
Like dancing and like acrobatic. It looks so fucking dope.
And stuff. And, like, Mitch is like, ooh, I want one. Please, somebody get me one on Instagram and shit. And I'm just like, this is the whitest shit I've ever seen, right? And then, like, because it was Mitch, I had to, like, reframe my mind. I'm like, well, you know, if he want to do it, shit. Like, you know, just like,
he's gonna do that shit.
Like, you know, okay. Like,
to bring up a good point.
Wait, I'll let you. Wait, as soon as I'm done. I only got like one sentence left. As soon as Mitch does that shit, it becomes black people shit. So let him do it. Shit.
which is literally just the point I wanted to make, because it's like there are so many places and spheres of, like, you know, interaction or existing where it's not, I don't want to say it's necessarily made to feel, but it feels like, oh, we can exist in those spaces.
Yes,
but that does not exist.
Yeah.
We exist. We are living our lives. We do whatever the hell we want with those lives. whatever it may be. And when someone goes no, it better be a native indigenous person going like, yo, listen, if you're going to do this, you have to be committing to the full extent like our people would do. Which for me, my response would be, of course, there would be no other way of doing it. It better be that response. That better be your no. Whatever person, wherever you are, that better be your fucking no. Like, hey, we need you to respect the history and the culture and tradition. And if you're not going to do that, you shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Okay, fine. Because if that's not your no, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Oh, what? Bull riding? We bull riding. Oh, bullfighting, which we shouldn't be doing.
Shouldn't be doing bullfighting.
That's Spanish, and
that's
their conversation to have.
You can get us banned by PETA and shit.
But nonetheless, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but what is it? What's another like typically like white thing that black people don't do?
What do you want to say next? Cockfighting? Dogfighting?
I'm not trying to bring it there. I know I shouldn't have brought up the bullfighting, but you know what I mean. It's just in that frame of mind because I remember there was a black woman who's really popularizing like doing like Irish step dancing for herself. Shit. And people are like mad about it. But oh my God, she steps so great. She steps so great. And it's like, why shouldn't she be doing that? It's not like we keep people from hip hop. And think about that real quick. Think about that real quick. We haven't kept a single and certain ignorant black people have tried. But then there's always been black people in those communities to be like,
I'm here.
To be like, nah, let them do that. You know what I mean? As long as they can do it. Because it's like, oh, one of my least favorite terms on the planet. Oh, especially when it comes to like culturally black dance methods. Oh, you know, I think I do it good for a white person. Yikes. Shut up. Such a thing doesn't exist. You either do it well or you don't. Yeah. And when we recognize people in our communities who dance well or rap well, you know, like Eminem or whatnot, it's because they did those things well enough to be recognized.
Just the otherism that's dripping out of that statement, too.
Oh, my God, that, like, bro. I'm an exception.
Yeah, I'm the exception. And not only am I the exception, it's not even, I'm the exception to, like, you even. Like, I'm doing it for a white person. Like, you know what I mean? Oh,
and it's like, nah, actually, if you just do it well enough, because no offense, white person, and I say this in truth because I have to say this to every other person, you are not special. You are not better or worse than anybody else. Learn it, graft it into your memory, make sure I never have to have the conversation with you, because if I have to have the conversation with you, I guarantee you're not going to like it, because I get into really tight spaces when I have to have conversations like that. Because no human being is better or worse than any other. I mean, maybe we're better at doing certain things, but the point is to say our souls don't have any more value or less value than anybody else's. You feel me? So I can't stand that sentiment. It pisses me off to no length. Just pisses me off.
Mitch,
that's why I feel types of ways about the N-word.
It was a good conversation. I like that one. You went to Comic-Con. Tell us about what happened at Comic-Con. I was actually a little jealous. I saw you go to Comic-Con. I was like, fuck. And it looked fun. It looked fun. So
it is fun.
Did you dress? Did you dress up?
No, I didn't cosplay because I'm not used to doing that, and you know, I get anxiety. You know, I suffer with my mental health and shit like that. And going to Comic-Con was kind of like a treatise and like being someplace where I felt at home and was enjoying myself while also feeling anxious at the same time, because there's so many people, so many like booths, so much going on, all the beautiful fucking women in cosplay. And my homie literally, I was like, damn, I was like, bro, like all these chicks out here. He was like, Mitch, cosplay isn't consent, which I knew, of course. But the fact he had to say that, I was like, shit, you're right. Like, but like, it's so dope. There's so much going on. It's such a great experience. I'm a nerd just as much as anybody. As soon as you walk up, there's a picture of Great Ape Vegeta. Originally, when he came the first time to fuck up the planet and fight Goku, there was a picture of him just like, I mean, not a picture, there was a literal stand-in fucking model, like, I want to say at least 20 to 30 feet tall. Damn. As soon as you walk in as one of the main show floors, and it's like, whoa, you're walking around, you're seeing people in cosplay, you're seeing, you know, comic book opportunities, anime, manga opportunities, or just booths just chilling there. You're seeing artists painting stuff like that. You're seeing other artists who's written new novels and stuff. And it's just like, oh my God. Mind you, you're seeing the floor, people with their own swag, people in cosplay, just walking around and shit like that, and you're like, oh my God, what do I do?
What was your favorite thing to see? What was your favorite thing to see?
I'd have to say, because I'm a One Piece fan, there was like this lifelike replica of like Monkey D. Luffy, who's the main protagonist. Like, they had it posted up, and just seeing that for me, and mind you, I didn't even mean to be like that, because I'm not a fanboy like that. Because being an artist, it's hard for me to get into the mindset of a fan, but nonetheless, I pulled up and saw that. It wasn't even that extravagant, like, at all. It wasn't really that extravagant at all, but nonetheless, I was like, yo, that made me feel really good. And that's what the spirit is, bro. And like, even like saying that out loud just like almost makes me want to cry, because that's really all it is for people. It was like this fandom or this particular set of toys, this music, it just makes me feel good. That's why I love it. And I'm not that person a lot. So I walked up and I was like, and I took a picture of it. It was on my story. And I was like, yo, the future Pirate King pulled up because I love Monkey D. Luffy so much. Like, I love that motherfucker. Like, I love him so much, bro, what he stands for. Like, I am not him, and I don't even want to be, but it's like who he is in his authentic self. Just the ridiculousness of it, but the full commitment to who he is, because all he can be is himself. I love every single bit of it, which is why I love the fucking manga anime so damn much. And I pulled up to Comic-Con and saw that there and was just like, I'm in the right place, yo. I'm like fucking in the right place. I might have been, and mind you, had the 30-foot story fucking grade 8 Vegeta chilling, but all I needed was to see that, and it was just like, yo, I'm so glad I came. And then on top of that, oh, bro, where is it? Because it's like, I got a small little poster of Tommy fucking Pickles.
No.
Because I pulled up to a booth and they were like it was supposed to be a surprise, but maybe they liked me, and because I couldn't pull up in cosplay, so I pulled up. I was like, all right, I can't pull up in cosplay, but let me like look nice. So I put on like a decent shirt, some pants, and like some nice shoes. I was just like walking around, and I saw people giving me looks, like dudes, girls, of course, which is what I wanted. And I was like, yeah, even though we didn't come up and have conversation, but I seen the looks like, yo, who the fuck is that? And I felt like I did too much a little bit. I was like, shit, I should have pulled up in the Chucks and like maybe just like more relaxed. I pulled up in some like Madden boots, and I was like, yo, damn, Mitch, why'd you do that? But I only did that because I couldn't cosplay. So I was like, all right, let me look like I could be some like main character maybe, bro, like chilling with some cool shit on.
Right.
And that was the effect Comic-Con had on me because I couldn't cosplay. But like, I'm walking through all these booths and stuff. We go downstairs and I'm just trying to find my friend. You seeing all these people in cosplay, and it's just like overwhelming because that's how I felt. Mind you, that wasn't even a super packed day. There was a lot of people there because there's going to be a lot of people regardless, but that wasn't even like a super packed day. But I pulled up and I was like, oh, wow, I'm actually like here at Comic-Con, which I've seen on TV for like ages since I was a fucking kid. And so in one sense, I was like underwhelmed because I was like, oh, wow, I figured like it would be a lot like bigger, a lot more going on. But then like I'm feeling myself out like, wow. And don't recommend smoking before for myself because like when I smoke, like I get a lot more like introverted. I'm like, oh shit, yo, like what's going on? Are people looking at me? Like, am I cool? Like, am I acting out? Mind you, my first 30 minutes of Comic-Con was looking for my friend Steph, and he was going to like an event, and so I'm sitting here walking around and I feel like everyone's watching me like, who's that guy? It's like, is he out of place or is he in the right place? That's the feeling I got. And that's how a lot of us feel sometimes when you're involved in fandom or you have something that you really like. So the first 30 minutes I wasn't even trying to interact with anybody because like I'm in such an antisocial space these days, so I'm super closed off. And I'm just trying to find him. And I'm like, shit, why haven't I found him yet? And he's just like, yo, I'm doing stuff. And he's in an event, so I'm not trying to take away from him. So I just sat down. And then, mind you, find out that the place he was in, I passed 4 fucking times.
No.
I just needed to search a different spot. But I was in like, shit, I don't want to interrupt anybody. I don't want to affect anybody's energy. So I'm just like walking around and stuff like that. So I go into like booths. And like when the people at the booths, they're committed to their booths, like artists specifically, Like they'll try to like pull you in, and me, I'm wary of that because I'm used to people selling me stuff on these New York fucking streets all the time. So I'm like,
Right.
like maybe one day I can go to the San Diego Comic-Con because I think they do it there sometimes too. But like it was NYC, so it was like New York City Comic-Con. So I'm like, no, don't put me in, bro. I ain't got money to pay you right now, bro. You know what I mean? Because all these people have such cool shit.
Did they like premiere anything?
There was a few things, but I missed those because I had to go after work because like fuck capitalism. But nonetheless, there was like lots of premieres. I think My Hero Academia had like, which is a really popular, good shonen manga anime out right now. If you're not up on My Hero Academia, you're kind of missing out. Because you know how people like to hate on the most popular things, which I can't blame you for specifically, but My Hero's like, My Hero's really good. So they had a premiere for a movie.
Getting into that, but we'll keep talking.
We'll get to that later because
like
we don't have time to.
It's too slow in the beginning.
We don't have time to get into that.
All right.
And I'm a man who grew up and loves One Piece, so people tell me that I'm just like,
well, see that, yeah. If you have the One Piece tolerance, then that makes sense, you know.
The thing about the One Piece tolerance, and this for me is what a lot of people forget, like you kind of are supposed to let a story play out at whatever level it plays out. But you know, people are who they are. So like
my time is precious.
If that's not for you, that's not for you.
That's why my time is precious.
But see, me, I can enjoy certain things because like One Piece,
you know what? I feel like I could probably, if One Piece gets better the way you say it does, I could probably give it a better shot because I'm from back in the day when One Piece used to come on TV. So it used to come on like one episode a week.
We got the watered down American version, mind you, until later, and that's the bullshit. Because One Piece has everything you need from Jump, but it's a romance. People don't realize, like, if you were to write it, if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, we have manga and stuff, if you were to write it out as a novel, it would legit be a romance novel. And there's not many things you can do that with because romance itself is kind of like a dying breed in terms of like fiction and stuff like that. In terms of the genre, romance isn't a typical genre really as much anymore, but One Piece legit is legit. If you wrote it out and all the words out and you put it in a novel, it would be a romance. Perfect, almost a perfect romance with how it's written out. You just add in all the other elements, but it's also a shonen anime. So you have to add in like superpowers and an entire culture committed to that at the same breath. Ishiro Oda's a genius. Shout out to Ishiro Oda. Well, Ishiro Oda, if I said that correct, because I might not, because it's Japanese, and I might not be pronouncing his name correctly. But Ishiro Oda, I think, is how you properly say the name. And that man's like, because to keep that serialization going, mind you, you're dealing with Shonen Jump serialization, which is stressful. People legitimately kill themselves over having to deal with them, you know what I'm saying? And this man is just telling this beautiful long story. And I'm thinking that's how it should go. You should be telling your story long and taking your time with it, not rushing things to get like more fucking views. Because that's what's going to kill you. But like, well, I got off topic because I'm talking about Comic-Con.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was my fault though. So
no, it's okay.
Where did you see, what were the premieres? Where did they like premiere there?
No, once again, I didn't get to see any premieres, but I know they were premiering lots of games. They premiered a movie for My Hero Academia. I think Dragon Ball Super got something too. There might have been some movie premieres and stuff like that, but I didn't get to see the full rundown. I didn't get to come in like at its height, you know, when things first started like I wanted to because I was working and that had to come from work. I was just thankful to have been able to be there, which I didn't get to say till afterwards because like it was overwhelming to me. I was like, shit, there's so many people. Shout out to my homeboy Steph, like real good friend, because if he wasn't there, I don't even think I would have felt as comfortable there just being there by myself because he's gone before and like he's used to being in the environment because I was just like, yo, between seeing the giant life-sized great ape or as close to the giant-sized great ape Vegeta when you first walk in to like walking around and seeing people in cosplay to being super attracted to all these gorgeous, beautiful fucking women in their cosplay, to then seeing all, you know, the art itself, like, because there's so many artists there too, just making, you know, all this beautiful art. I got the chance to talk with a dude. I should have got his IG, but I was like too anxious about it. I was like, oh God, I'm dealing with a person. To like seeing the life-size Monkey D. Luffy there, to winning the poster, or not winning, but to like entering in to get a like Tommy Pickles poster, which was cool because shout out to Tommy Pickles. Baby's got to do what a baby's got to do. Boy, oh boy, did I not know how true that fucking statement was going to be for the rest of my life. Bro, what else? Just bro, it's a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do. One of the realest statements ever said.
Gonna keep saying it.
For adults. For adults. Bro, one of the realest statements ever said. But
Tommy was a real one though.
Tommy was a real one, bro. And you don't get many real ones, bro. Unfortunately. Like they were all pretty real, but they all gathered around Tommy because Tommy was the realest.
You think Tommy is the same Tommy that grew up to be Tommy from Power?
I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that, like, on the cast. Because it could very well be super fucking true. Because Tommy on Power does what Tommy's got to do, bro. Which is the sentiment. Because you can take the sentiment and you can flip it however which way it works for you. Because the point is, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. And Tommy, like, Tommy off Power, like, he really does what he's got to do, bro. He really does what he's got to do. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I mean,
he
be like, he does what he got to do. He's got a thing for redheads. His mom's a redhead. Like, I mean, writing's on the wall. I'm just saying.
On the wall, maybe. Ryan might be on the wall. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I guess maybe they was thinking about that in the writing for real, because Rugrats was a shit. But shout out to New York Comic Con. Mind you, I got in because you can get a by like just making shit up. And that's what I did.
What?
I wasn't Mitch at Comic Con. They didn't know this, but I was analyst for that day, which is also the other cool part.
How the fuck?
I was the creator.
So you just like way into Comic Con? Is that what you trying to tell me right now?
Baby's got to do what a baby's got to do.
What the fuck?
All I'm saying. And it's great.
Is that even legal? Okay. Added point.
Hopefully. Shout out to New York Comic Con. I'm sorry I was so anxious. I was just overwhelmed by how great it was being in that environment. And hopefully I can go next year, cosplay, and feel way more comfortable, not be working, and really try to interact with people. Because, like, I didn't really get to interact with people because that's the space I'm in right now. And, like, that's the only, like, sad part for me. Because, like, it was otherwise, like, really cool. Like, so much stuff. There was a booth for, like, gaming and shit like that. People were playing Dragon Ball Z Fighter when I first walked in. There was a whole large comic book selection. It was just great.
I'm glad you felt that way. Before we get off the subject, what would you cosplay as? If you could.
I wish y'all could see the face that I'm giving Logan.
Would you cosplay as Monkey?
A tough one.
Would you cosplay as Monkey D. Luffy?
I would actually, but that might not be the first go-to.
Pretty cool for you, though.
It would be dope. Oh, it would be dope, bro. With the chest scar and the open chest and everything, the sash. I'd just be pulling up, hat, bro, hitting the poses. Plus, I'm in great shape, which is there's the other thing about cosplaying, because always awesome when you're also in great shape. But I might also do Brother Voodoo or Blade from Marvel. You know what I'm saying? I love Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to see if I can do that for Halloween. If I could nigga rig cheap Blade costume. But, like, we'll see.
Yo, you know what me and Sarah's... we got to do Halloween together.
Fuck you.
Why not?
You don't get to just show up for my Halloween plans.
Why not?
If I can. It depends.
What are your Halloween plans? What are you doing for Halloween?
Right now, it looks like a friend of mine might have rented out a floor because we went to this cool, like, club called Latitude. Shout out to Latitude. And they have, like, 3 different levels. So it looks like right now there's a room to rent out.
I think I've been there before.
Maybe. You might have been.
Oh, yeah. It probably wasn't named Latitude. Yeah, it was in the city.
The name could have changed. Names could have changed.
But I'm pretty sure, yeah.
But there are plenty of spots like that. So it looks like that might be the Halloween move. If I could nigga rig a costume in time.
Because me and Sarah want to do pumpkin heads.
Pumpkin heads, like...
Like, you got a pumpkin face, pumpkin head. It's really easy.
Are you going to use real pumpkins or fake pumpkins?
Real pumpkins. We about that life over here.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Hope you have a cool, like, But no, we'll see what's going on because I have to see if it actually happens. But if you want to pull up, it just depends on like what's the rules on invites and stuff. But otherwise, you come through.
Yeah, we get what it's like is like you take a pumpkin, you do the jack-o'-lantern face and all that, right? Mm-hmm. And you just wear normal fucking clothes, and that's the theme.
If y'all was real, you would like tape a light to the inside, one that you could flick on and off to the inside of your nose, and have it just lighting up the pumpkin. If y'all was real, y'all would do that.
I would like that. That's
you don't even necessarily have to have it here. You could maybe put the light beneath, but regardless, it illuminates the pumpkin, and that would be dope.
I wouldn't even want to do like a scary face. Like I would just do like a normal like a little like a mopey face
wink,
or
like a little wink,
winky face, something. You know what I mean? Not something like it doesn't even have to be like something like crazy. Like it just has to be something like just some normal pumpkin like.
Yeah, I'm just normal pumpkin.
Hey. Just a normal pumpkin guy.
No, this isn't the Nightmare Before Christmas. I just, plain face.
Plain face.
Listen, you guys are racist. We don't always do, jack-o'-lantern scary faces, all right?
Pumpkins on vacation.
Yeah, just chilling.
Yes. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think so.
No, so what? I can't invite myself to your Halloween plans now?
Invite yourself? Hell the fuck no.
Why not?
I already told you how this is going to go down. You'll give me a warning, and I'm going to let you know.
Well, you just been warned, nigga. Shit.
All right, cool. So I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know what's going down. Why don't you finish moving up first? Then we'll talk about it.
Man, Halloween is like what, in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I know. It'd be creeping up fast. Like October.
Yeah, it's like in 2 weeks.
I told my dad I'd call him. I gotta actually ask him to give me a plane ticket.
For Thanksgiving?
Go home. Yeah, because I gotta go home.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
you going home for Christmas too?
Nah. It's one or the other. Although, mind you, I've never gone home for a Christmas. Because I don't care about my parents spoiling me with presents.
Because I might be staying up there for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not coming back down here for Christmas.
I'm going to be up for Christmas. I'm going home for Thanksgiving because what? Bro, do you know how I've been eating? Listen, I go home for Thanksgiving like every year when I get the chance as soon as I get the chance. And that's my time to just be like, oh, look at all this love.
Look at all this love.
And I recharge before I have to come back up to New York. I recharge off the familial love, and then I come back like, all right. I get depressed all over again because as soon as I leave, I'm just sad. My little brother be taking me to the plane, and I got to dap him up, a long dap, just look him in the eyes like, I love you. Look, like, I got to go. He just be sad like, damn, man, you really going again? And I'm like,
got to.
Yeah, I got to. I ain't made nothing of myself.
Can't come home until I do.
Can't come home until I do.
I feel that.
Peace, brother. And then gone. And then gone on the plane. And then back to New York struggle. New York City struggles, baby. It'll probably be a song someday. Maybe. I'll see.
Oh, man. No. I feel that so hard.
Oh, feel that. You're about to live that. And I'm going to try to keep you afloat as best as I can because I'm a good person. And you're lucky to have me as a friend. Shut the fuck up. I don't need none of that. I don't need none of that. I know who I am. Thank you. I know who I am. Thank you. And I just don't want to see you fail and shit. I don't believe in human beings failing. You're lucky. Good for you.
We saw some people, like some of Sarah's friends for the last time today.
Oh, damn.
And they were like, they're like, oh, one of them, they joked around and said, we don't want to see you here again. And she goes, well, we're going to try. I said, no, we're not going to try. We're just not coming back. And she goes, no, we're not going to try. We'll do our best. I said, no, we're not coming back.
Funny enough, out of the two of you, because Sarah's a visual artist, right? She paints and all that?
She paints and she dances. So she does both of those things.
Yeah. Oh, she dances too. Okay, so on the dancing side of things, that can get more complicated and rigorous. On the painting side of things, Sarah could paint some stuff, and I've been telling my homie who's a musician and moved in, pull up in Washington Square Park, set a table up, just stay with the table, make sure you got people with you, set up some paintings, just show off your paintings, talk to people about the work, and like make an easy buck. Like I'm talking like selling shit for like 100 plus. But selling at a proper value, what do you think it's worth? I would just tell her, make sure she don't devalue herself. Art is priceless.
We know.
Technically.
We know.
That's an easy like setup to keep things going. I want
her to teach me how to paint because I have like a weird style of like, just sketching. Like I just draw like weird, like cryptic shit and stuff sometimes. Like I drew a weird pumpkin thing, dude. I'll send it to you later. But like I used to do that a lot at work. Like I used to just draw a lot just to pass the time because like I work just Staples and like ain't nothing fucking going on.
Ain't no one looking for you at Staples,
right? So like I'm at the cashier and I'm just like drawing all day. I got pretty good at it, so I started like my own like little Snapchat series about it, right? And I said, cool. Yeah, I wanted her to like teach me how to draw now, like teach me how to like to paint really, because then I just like do like whatever it is I wanted to do with it, you know. But I'll show you some of my stuff because it's just like weird, like I like drawing like weird cryptic shit that's just like, you know, candid. It's like just like candid, like monsters just going through their day. Like one time I drew like a flame and it was like wearing a jacket, and it's just like it's not like mean or evil or anything. It's just going about his day. You
could pull up at a park with that too. Sell it just as easy. For real. And just make sure your heart's always there because that's what people like connect with.
I don't know if I would sell any of that though. I'm like
you'd be surprised, bro.
I know.
Like,
I'm just not that. Like I don't feel like I could do that. But then like my heart's not into selling it. I guess like my heart's into like drawing a bunch of these fuckers. And then like somebody find it in my journal in like 50 years or some shit while I'm like dead, you know, and then be like, oh my god, look at all of these. Like that's what I want. Like,
damn, yeah.
I don't need the now praise. I need the future legacy praise. That's what I want.
Why are you trying to be post-mortem before you die?
I do think about that a lot. You're right,
bro. That's not.
I am such a dreamer for the late stages of my life. Like I want to be a grandpa before I want to be a dad. Like I want to be.
I feel that one though. I feel that because father fully implies full on responsibility. Grandfather implies dealing with the motherfucker who you made responsible. So you got to deal with that shit no more. Yeah. You just chilling with your grandson. Like it's okay. Your dad's fucked up because of me, but I'm gonna try to do my best to make sure it doesn't scar you.
Fuck that. I'm so ready just to give little kids nickels all the time. Like that's
what?
Just like,
bro. Do you know what inflation is? You gotta give them dollars.
Nope, nickels. It's like, hey, little whoops.
They won't even know what those are or what to do with them.
Nickel be the value of like half a penny by the time we're that old. Like really, yeah. How you doing? Have a nickel. Yay!
Grandpa, you know I can't do anything with these. Hey, go buy some. Go buy some candy.
You know what's fucked up about that? Even at our age right now, you can't buy candy with like a nickel. Like
no, not at all, bro.
And then when he grows up and then he learns, they're like, "Why did Grandpa give me a nickel and tell me?" Because like even at his age, you couldn't buy. He'd be like, "Damn."
Bro, well, let me not say that because I'm not gonna hope that the concept of currency crashes by the time we're like older, but I would hope that people finally are like, okay, maybe we need to discuss the value of things and bring certain things values down and bring the value of other things up, because we're on a global scale, but everybody has different currencies, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like maybe we need to have that discussion.
The only problem is industry. That's the problem. It's like people who actually work and the things that you're like. It's like we're gonna make sure your thing isn't as worth as much as it used to be. It's like, say what? And like it's just like it feels like they're like, with my money?
like what? Why would you do? And
why would you do that?
I'm like, shit, yo, like.
You're like, because insulin shouldn't be like $1,000 billion. And they're like,
yeah,
okay, but I make money like that. So what you trying to say? It's like, you shouldn't make money like that. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I do have that, like, I have a little bit of hood mentality like that when it's like, you jacked it up so I couldn't get it. I can't afford it. What did you expect me to do? And people are like, act a good citizen, which is how I used to be. But now I'm like, no, we should actually purposely take it from those people because they're not acting as good citizens. They're not trying to help their better man. We should fuck those people up.
I want to know is like I remember hearing something about how like the maker of insulin, what he did was like he made it so that like he released a recipe like it's an open patent. I don't know if that's true or not, and I want to look that up.
If that was true, that would be actually really cool. Like it really would be, because then if someone could just get the ingredients and create their own and save their own lives, well, like why not? Thank you. But how much does it cost to get the patent?
This is not all insulins are patent protected.
There are different kinds of insulin?
So I guess there's different types of insulin. Yeah.
I mean, what's the main ingredient in insulin?
Why is insulin so cheap in Canada? I don't know.
Well, yes, we do, because Canada's healthcare is better than ours.
Yeah, well.
That's about all it really comes down to.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe that'd be a topic for another day. Because if like people could just make insulin, like they probably should.
Yeah, probably should.
I don't mean like for themselves. I mean like they should just make insulin and then just charge like way below the asking price. You know what I mean?
You're just asking for trouble with somebody.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody's pulling up for kneecaps.
Once again, this segment is called "How Logan's Gonna Get Himself Killed in the Future." Like it's just like,
yay! So much fun,
right? Let's just put this right up on the board next to talking out of turn. Like just.
Oh man. I had to think back to memories, and I was like, "Oh wow, that probably would be one of them."
Yeah,
that probably would just be one of them. Like you didn't need to even speak at all, but he just had to get that last word in. Gunshot to the chest. Yeah, you can't talk all that shit now.
I be having nightmares about that. Like I be having bad dreams of it. You know, people just shooting me because I'm shooting my mouth off, and then like I'd be like, I'll wake up and I'd be like, and be like. Fair. It's just like good shit, GG. Like
it's like, all right, yeah, that was your round. Like, damn. All right, damn. Okay. Am I gonna change? Nah. Yeah, you know I really need to change. Then has that first cup of coffee. Nah, fuck it. Nah, I'm good.
I'm talking spicy out here, man.
All right, we gotta talk about one more thing, I guess, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I was gonna say, since I talked about Comic-Con, which was, albeit an anxious experience, at least I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me bring up my Jungle concert experience.
Ooh, okay.
First of all,
explain to me what Jungle is. I don't know these.
Jungle is a musical group that actually makes really cool, like, I want to say like funk house music.
Okay.
But the way I got introduced to Jungle was through their music videos, which are awesome because they have this really group of like awesome dancers who pull up, and it's like real multicultural, and like the videos were awesome. The dancers were great. They had a show one time and they brought the dancers out, and great show. That's what I was expecting. A show like that, filled with like all this soul and culture. They pull up and it's just them and the instruments, which they play well. The music's good. But like I discovered, once again, I'm an artist, not per se a fan like that, and I'm not good at getting into the fan mindset because I'm so focused on like
the production,
being an artist and create and produce and express, which I need to work on. But so the concert experience is like, this was my first concert, mind you.
Oh shit!
Yeah, first concert. That's how bad of a fan I am at being, because I'm perfectly fine with just listening to the music.
No, I've never been to a concert either, so this is like great for me.
Oh, okay. So we pull up to the concert at it's in the Avant Gardner like concert complex. Also, shout out to Avant Gardner. Love your guys' space. It's like, to me, it is the best like entertainment space in Brooklyn. One of these days we'll go to an event there and you'll understand. They have like multiple spaces that they use in the complex. So they have one called the Mirage, which is an outdoor complex. First time I danced in the rain at a concert complex. It was awesome. They have another one called King's Hall, which is like a smaller performance venue. They have another one called the Circus for like intimate gatherings during like fall and winter. It's awesome. And then this one was in the Great Hall. the Great Hall is like, they're huge, like you're gonna throw a concert and like fit like 100+ people at minimum in that bitch, which they did. What I discovered is that I don't like being squished up against another human body for more than like 10 seconds and not being able to move while listening to music. Very, very unenjoyable. Very, very unenjoyable for me. And we were packed in there. I'm talking about, you get to the front and it's like, could I move a 1/4 centimeter to the left, please? Not without negotiating that with 3 other people, nigga, which you thought you came up here to do. So I'm chilling up here listening to music, trying to enjoy it, because like I love Jungle's music, don't get me wrong. But it's just that, like, highly recommend listening to them. But it's like, they didn't have the dancers up on stage, which like hurt me, because I love those dancers, those jungle dancers. Especially there's this one dude, I don't know his name, and I should look it up, but he's this light-skinned dude. He had this long hair, and he had all this charisma, this personality, and the moves was on point. So I was expecting him to pop out, and I was like, yo, where the moves at? And it was just them with the music. They had a nice little setup in terms of their visuals for the background visuals they had, which was cool. But once again, I'm around all these people squished up like a sardine, and I'm a dude who likes to move in general. Jungle's music is, and to me, just my personal opinion, but Jungle's music is not meant to be listened to without like getting movement involved. It doesn't have to be a full dance, but when you're listening to Jungle, they make you want to move. I promise you'll listen to Jungle, you could chill and like kind of vibe, but it's really music that you can move to, and it's beautiful. So that's what I was wanting. So I pulled up to this concert space. You know, we had the check-ins and stuff, drinks overpriced because they can. And like friends wanted to get to the front, and I was like, yeah, let's get to the front, which I thought would be fun. It was not.
So
it was not.
Can I stop you for a second? Is this story about how much you didn't enjoy your experience at this concert?
Yeah. I thought it'd be like a good, like, you know, contrast to how much I enjoyed Comic-Con, even though I was like anxious.
Yes.
Because I was the same person in both spaces, but having and experiencing a lot of the similar feelings while having 2 different experiences. You feel me? So it was like Comic-Con, even though I was anxious, I was like, I'm so glad to be here. Jungle concert, even though I wanted to be there, enjoy the music. Mind you, I got into Comic-Con for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I paid to get to this Jungle concert because I wanted to be there that bad. I like Jungle's music. I like what it does for me. And then got there and was just like, oh man, we need to go. One of my friends who was with me, who's even more antisocial than me, left early. She was like, nah, it's too packed. And it's making me realize the concert experience, which is the greater conversation I want to have in terms of like people enjoying art and stuff like that, really shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? It's like people want to move when they get to a concert. They want to really enjoy themselves. But a lot of people are just so comfortable with like going up somewhere, being super stuck and just looking like, oh, I was at the Jungle concert. I got to see them. But you really didn't get to enjoy yourself seeing them. You're just, it's the, what am I thinking? Shit, I don't have the word for it, but it's like, it's just the fact that you were there, the novelty. Thank you. Thank you, okay, Mitchell, for making your brain work. They just enjoy the novelty of being able to say, hey, I was at this place. Yeah. I saw that person. And we're not creating a concert environment where people can really enjoy and express themselves. You're not just there to see them. An artist's music does something for you. And it's different with music because with film and theater, you're supposed to like sit down and just watch. Because the actors on stage are doing something else. They're maybe making you laugh. They're making you think things. And music has that kind of effect as well, but it's a little different because music, when someone listens to music, they want to really feel a lot, and sometimes they want to dance. You can't do that in a space where you're crunched up against another person and you can't really move. Unless people in the span of 10 seconds develop some of the best coordination skills of our lives.
Right.
Which is hard, which is impossible to do. So I pulled up to this Jungle concert and the music was great. I'm not going to deny that. The artists on stage did their thing. Don't let this sound as if I'm trying to belittle the artists on stage. They did their thing. Yes, Jungle, I wanted the dancers there. I will always want the dancers there. Fuck what anybody else is saying. Oh, the dancers take away from you. They might. Y'all need them. Like, I'm willing to bet. Like, I'm willing to bet like half of the fans wasn't listening to the music like myself until they saw some of those music videos. Those dancers put on. You should always make sure you have them there if you can, or need someone. So rant over on that.
He said y'all need them.
Well, let me not say need, because, you know, Jungle, you're great art. Your artistry is great. The music is great, but you should want them there, because there was a connection y'all made between y'all as musicians and them as dancers that I think is really beautiful, that you should always use if you can. But so nonetheless, the artists did their thing, because I don't want to belittle them. The artists did do their thing. The music was great, but the entire experience to me was just so diminished by what the concert experience is, which is another kind of thing I want to brush on, because what a person wants to do at a concert is fit as many people into the room as they can to make as much money as they can.
Right.
Disgusting. Stop that.
But you need it.
But you need it, says some people. But do you?
Yeah.
Not Jungle. Jungle's doing all right.
Are they? How long have they been out for?
A while, bro. At least 5 years minimum. 5 year minimum at minimum, because I don't actually know.
That's not a long time.
Long
Creatively,
enough.
That is not a long time.
Long enough when you're doing well, which they have been. Like, mind you, I say 5 years at minimum because that's when they caught my attention. So they've been on for a while before that. They're fine. You don't need to be doing shows like that where you could be doing like 5+ shows, but it also depends on scheduling. Me personally, I just fucking hate it.
I mean, if you got a tour during a pandemic, you probably do need the money.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it was a tour, but you know, it wasn't
you showing
last
up.
year pandemic. Yeah, it wasn't last year's pandemic. It was this year's pandemic. Mind you, everybody's getting vaxxed. They're checking vax cards and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're doing this shit. This place was packed as if pandemic ain't exist last year.
Right.
You feel me?
Okay.
But in general, like, if
no, I
that's what
saw it
concerts
on
are,
Instagram when you were posting it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it was a lot of people there. Because
mind you, I like the visuals, I like the show, but it was just like, oh God, I don't enjoy the experience of being packed in a space and looking to my left and not really being able to breathe because someone's breathing in that space. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's so enjoyable. You can't move as much. It's less freeing, and I feel like going to a concert and enjoying the music should be one of the most freeing experiences. Like, music does shit for people. Like, music be saving people's lives. And the last thing you should feel at a concert is constricted.
No, I hear that.
That's all I'm saying. And it was like the music, but like not my favorite experience.
You trying to bust a move is what you trying to say, and you couldn't do that.
Well, if I can't fully bust a move, but I'll be just fine with a 2-step and being able to like move in my space. Literally, bro, like, I'm saying less than an inch of space between us and other people, you know what I mean? And it's just not good. You should be, and I'm not saying to like make it so that one person has like 5 feet of space. That's much, but at least a foot or two, at least at minimum. Right. You should at least be able to get that going, but like people don't even care about that because it's like, yo, that foot's another $1. And it's like, all right, well, how about this people's experience? But people are so accustomed to this shit because most people are sheep, you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. Oh, this is fun. And they like the novelty. I was here. That's how it goes. And it was like, so no one's going to come out and say that it's disgusting because I'm ruining. I had a girl who I was talking to about, and I did feel bad because I didn't want to be ruining her experience. But she was like, because Jungle was like, this is the best show we did. And I was like, the dancers aren't here. Don't lie to me. I haven't even been on other shows. Don't lie to me. In my head. And I was having a conversation with like these 2 white girls behind me. One of them was like, okay, listen, I'm trying to enjoy the show. And I was like, rude. But at the same time, because that's how I am. But at the same time, I was like, she's right. I shouldn't be trying to ruin her experience. Right. You know what I mean? If she's enjoying it, she should enjoy it. Why should I down her time? Right. Because I'm not having a good time. So I didn't. She was like, I want to enjoy the show. I didn't talk to her the rest of the night. It's cool. But like, she just doesn't understand because she's in that sheepish mindset where she's like, this is it. This is wonderful. And it's like, no, it's not that. It's not even about like, it could be better. It's about recognizing the fact that you as a person deserve better. Every time. You as a human being deserve better every time, but we live in a society that tells you, who do you think you are? And the fucking answer is capitalistic, fucked up society. I'm fucking me.
But this was what I was saying about the nerd movies, like Justice League and all that shit. It's like
different conversation, but carry on.
It's the same shit though. It's like the experience you're getting out of it is basically just, I'm glad Superman is on screen. Not whether or not anything of note or worth even fucking happened.
But you know what I mean? Like I said, and like I brought up, because I'm not even going to necessarily disagree with you on that point, because I also still believe all the superhero movies can be better, period. But that's because I love comic books. But once again, it's like, I can't ruin someone else's experience. You know what I mean? If they're enjoying themselves, you shouldn't do that. Like, let them enjoy themselves. It's just, we really got to get into people's heads, like, because that's not in people's heads, bro. Because of classism and all that shit, that's not in people's heads.
Right.
That you deserve better. Like, this is what I got, and I should be content and happy. And it's like, wait. Maybe we should negotiate or talk about whether you're getting the best out of this. Because sure, it's okay to be like, if you can be happy and content with the least, of course I'm not trying to demean that or belittle that. But at the same time, like,
that's my dilemma. How do we get to that?
Because I know, it's my same dilemma.
Hard.
It's really fucking hard. The line is really fucking like hard to find in the first place. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, I'm not trying to sound spoiled. I'm not trying to sound like Kanye West. But at the same time, I'm not trying to be some dumb schmuck who's had few experiences and think this is the best when they could obviously have better. You know what I mean?
My question would even take yours and take it even a step back. And I would be like, don't I deserve better? Like, don't I deserve a better experience if I love you? Like,
yeah.
Come on. Like, shouldn't you want to do better? Like, shouldn't you want... Like, you know your music is groovy. Why am I standing here in 1 inch of space?
Yo, and see, but that's another thing. Because, so mind you, I didn't have the best experience at the Jungle concert. But I can 100% say I do not blame a single bit of that on Jungle at the current time, because I don't know who was involved. Hosting an event isn't as easy as it goes, especially being an artist. I've been an artist who had to create an event and then be in the event at the same time. It was great when I was doing it. It could have been better, and I wish I could have done better. But nonetheless, I did the best that I could at the time. I think people had a good time, and that's what mattered at the end. But as you get further along, things don't always go that way. Because the artist isn't always the event planner. And it's perhaps that sometimes the artist shouldn't be. Sometimes it's hard.
Do you think you will be doing any shows soon, since you're going to have, like, your own music come out again? Because you've done shows before, right?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to get through school right now, and it's like I haven't even been in that space for a while. I'm just starting to get back. I haven't even gotten back to writing. I'm starting to get back into the mood for, like, all right, I need to write shit again. Starting to be like, all right, man, I need to take some time. Looked at some old shit that I wrote, listened to some old tracks, like, oh, shit, like, I got to get this shit finished. But I still haven't even started writing yet. Like, I'm still doing the school thing and enjoying the experience for that, because I'm truly becoming a vocalist and it feels good.
See, that's why that's why the Lord wants me up there, so I can kick you in your ass.
I don't need you to kick me in my ass. I'm doing enough of that.
I'm gonna do it.
People doing that enough already.
I'm gonna do it.
Stay the fuck away from me, Logan.
No, I'm coming up here. I'm coming up for you. You don't even know my full name, and I will bleep the whole thing out. I don't even care. I got the timestamp 1:15:24.
But don't you come up here thinking you need to be another foot that's like, give Mitch a kick, because trust me, I got all those in the world, and that isn't the problem.
Well, what's the problem? Because I'm trying to get you to get some new music out here.
Well, the problem is just me, and that's what I'm working out. And it's like, because I have people in my corner that are really helping me stay along. The real reason is just me. I have mental things going on that you're aware of that I'm just working through, and like, it's just been a tough existence. My 20s, and I'm hoping on my 30s to mean something else, because I'm putting the foot down to make sure they do. And like, I'm already off to a good start with the decision I've been making. But like, my 20s were not what my teen years were. My teen years were full of hope and brightness and excitement, despite all the bullshit I was dealing with. My 20s have been my 20s have been a full-on reality check. All that hope is there, because I'm never going to let that die. And I guess it's just in my personality to have a positive view on things. But reality check really, like, check. Knock, knock, nigga. Like, you want to be all idealistic and hopeful and shit. I ain't got no problem, but knock, knock, nigga. You better recognize this reality around you.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to end up losing in the long run, which I have to be thankful for. But that's what the entirety of my 20s have been. And it's just like, I'm really going through it, and I'm like thinking back to this last decade, and that's still been having an effect on me, just thinking back to the last decade and how that's affected me and shit like that. And it really hurt me, like hurt, you know, in every sphere of my life, whether it be, you know, physical, mental, spiritual, financial, you know, romantic, you know, shit like that. It's like, wow, reality really done set in. This is the reality you're dealing with on some levels, Mitch. You have to recognize that and accept it, even if you don't want to.
Right.
Now you can move on. And now you can move on, la-di-da, however you feel. But make sure you accept that reality, because otherwise it's going to check you again. And you know you don't like when you get checked. Because you know you don't feel as if anybody should be having to check you, because you should already be checking yourself. So accept that shit. And I say that for myself, but that can apply to anyone out there. Reality is going to check you whether you like it or not. And however you decide to move after that is you, but you better accept that shit.
Yeah. I was just talking about that the other day, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look how the universe works.
No, it's true.
Whether you like it or not, reality is going to set in and check you like a motherfucker if it needs to. However you decide you have to move after that, however you want to live your life, you still have that power. But understand, you exist in this reality just like everybody else. So you better accept what your reality is. How you move to change that is still on you, thank God. But that reality is going to be there. And you have to accept what that is.
Because you know how I move. I like to be like I'm king shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it's hard when reality checks you and you think you king shit. Because it's like, okay, king shit, here's some king shit to deal with. Like, you know, it's like here's some shit that's just unreasonable. Because you want to be unreasonable with the world, you know? Because you want to have things your way. And so
it's not always gonna work out like
this
that.
is what we gonna give to you on your plate.
There you go, King. Notice your crown fell off. Notice you ain't put it back on yet.
That's what happens is like it falls off, but then like you got to think about, you know, well, you gonna put it back on or not?
Yo.
So, I mean, I keep putting it back on, but like still, it's hard.
Yo,
it's hard.
Burdened is the head that wears the crown, bro.
Yeah. But you know, you pick your crowns. You pick what you gonna put on your head. Like, don't let people like fool you into thinking that you didn't pick that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like there's situations where they're just like, I get like people inherit situations. There's situations that you just didn't foresee, things that fall into your lap. But like what I mean is just like what you gonna do about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you're gonna move like that, or if that's gonna change your life where, well, you just stop fucking with that thing. Maybe that's not the responsibility you want to hold. Well, that's you putting that down. You know what I mean? You walking away from that, right? It's not to blame anybody and say like, oh, well, you're not tough enough for this, you're not tough enough, or you're not good enough for that. That's not what that means. What that means is that like you picking, you know, what your path is gonna be. You know what I mean? Like if Logan wants to be the king, then there's responsibilities to that. And if Logan can't overcome those responsibilities or tame those responsibilities, maybe he should put that shit down and let somebody else be the king and let somebody else figure that shit out. Because it's not just whatever benefits Logan about it, it's what's going to benefit the people around him and everything like that. And how is he going to like enrich their lives? And that's what a king is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like if you want to be king shit, you know, here's all these people's troubles. Here's all this shit that's going down. Take care of them, you know? And a lot of people, that's why I hate when people say like, yeah, king. It's like, are you really a king? You know what I mean? Because like, are you really taking care of everybody? Are you really like, what does that mean? Like, you know, when we like get hung up on like the cool parts of running shit. Like even like war is cool to us. Like going to war is cool to us. Well, you got to send a bunch of people to their death. One, that's your responsibility.
You got to feed those people.
you gotta rally people that want to actually support you, support your ideals. That means that they have to think that you're somewhat right, or that you're at least trying to take care of them. You know what I mean? And for people to think you taking care of them, you got to be taking care of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot being glossed over about, you know, how you pick your lot in life, and like how you feel like, you know, you could feel like you're the shit, but like, what does that mean? Does that just mean that all the shit that you do just benefits you? Like when we talk about reality checks and stuff like that, that's like a big reality check for people. And it should be a more prevalent reality check. But I feel like a lot of people, when they want to be in charge or they want to have something going on, that's a big one to handle. That like, you know, it's not just you out here. Like other people have lives and shit to do too. And can you handle that? Can you handle like taking care of them? Can you handle that? And if you can't, it's no shame in walking away, but just know that, you know, you're the one that chose to walk away, and you're the one that chose that, like, I don't want to take care of these people anymore. Okay. But you don't have to like keep depressing their lives by like just stringing them along, like saying, I'm going to be the one to take care of all this shit, and you're not. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is about walking away, but for like the greater good of things, and to like find what you should be doing and where you should really be. Because like some people think like they're the king, but maybe you were a cabbage farmer from the Avatar or whatever, right?
My cabbages!
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, you made good cabbage, you know?
He was one of the most hilarious characters in the show.
It's so sad.
One of the most remembered characters with no name.
Exactly.
Not names, but one of the most remembered characters.
Yep. So it's just like, it's what do you want to do, you know? I like to ask people that a lot. Like when people are like going through like something hard, like I always ask them, well, what is it you want to do?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, well, what is it you want to do? It doesn't mean like, you know, what's your career or whatever. It just means like, what is it you want to see come out of this? Like, where do you want to be? You know, what is your idealized idea of the situation? Because maybe I can help you get that. You know what I mean? And you might not like my answer about how to get there, but it would be a roadmap at least of something, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
No, facts, man. No, I agree with that, man. I do agree with that. All right, you trying to get out of here? You trying to keep things moving?
Yes. Do you have anything you want to leave?
You off.
You want to? No. You're good. I think that's a great place to end. Do you have anything you want to leave the people with?
It's funny how I was talking about how we talk about less, but then it feels like we talk about so much fucking more.
No, we had a full show today. This was actually
we had a full show last time too. It's just that like it's just funny how I'd be like, shit, it's just the two of us, and we're supposed to talk about. We talked about less in terms of topics, but then we talked about more in terms of talking.
No, we talked about more topics today than we did even last week. So it was a lot.
Shit. Well, I just want to say then, once again, the discussion on the N-word, rest of the fucking world, is between we, the African American, Caribbean American, Black people community,
niggas,
and all the variants and all the variants thereof descended from Africa. That's a conversation between us and nobody the fuck else.
Amen.
One more time, just in case you didn't hear that.
Do it again.
Enjoy the things you love without ruining it for other people. And concerts, do something about that, man. Stop ruining the experience. We as human beings, and that's just in general, deserve better. Always. Mitchell out.
That just reminds me of like this story my parents told me where like they had a date where they went to like a James Brown concert, but this is like at the end of James Brown's career, and they were so mad because he wasn't doing all his moves and stuff, but people were still happy that he was there.
Well, that's James Brown. That's a little different.
But it's like James Brown old.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect?
He's old now.
Him to do a split?
He
like,
can't fucking like the way he used to, bro. Mind you, that surprised me because you remember seeing James Brown before he passed. That man would wild out at shows, even in his age. So that's surprising. But like, you better be thankful.
But you know, sometimes you have a bad show. So
Yeah, sometimes you have bad show.
No, I think what I said just before you wrapped was kind of like my pseudo wrap up. Because I just think that's just like a great note to leave on, because it is, because I find myself there now where it's like I'm moving to New York and now it's like, well, what do you want to do? Like
You're
life changes,
conversations.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I can't wait to move to New York. I can't wait to fuck shit up there. And I can't wait to, what, Mitch? Don't be so scared. It's okay. It's all right.
I'm not scared. That wasn't my scared face.
We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Who was we?
Me and you. Me and you. It's always been me and you. Oh
boy. Oh boy.
I love scaring the shit out of Mitch about this shit. Because I am a troublemaker for a little bit. I'm not gonna get Mitch shot. I'm not gonna get you shot or anything.
Oh, trust me, you're not getting me shot.
Yeah, see, we'll be fine.
I'm still worried about you getting you shot, as has always been the case.
Yo, remember that dude? We had that fight.
Who was we? You mean when you? And I walked over because I was like, it was like, damn, well, I can't leave him by himself. Can't let him deal with this by himself. So I'm going to be here.
This dude, the whole team with him, the whole team.
It was the entire football team.
Basketball team.
Oh, yeah, basketball team. Right, it was actually cool with the football player. Most of them.
We was cool with the football people, not the basketball team.
But the basketball team.
We got a fight with them.
I was like...
Because they was bothering me. They deserve that shit. But like we almost
got did, which is why I also didn't shy away. Because listen, I'm a man of the people. I know what's right, what's wrong. But I was just like, this don't seem like it, Logan. You saw me being like, this don't seem like it. But Logan, Logan was adamant. Unafraid. The most unhinged I'd seen him because he was just mad. And I was just sitting here just like, well, damn. Well, I guess if they start the fight, I'm going to throw as many licks as I can. We just going to have to deal with it. We just have to deal with it.
All of them bigger than me. All of them. Not
every single
one.
Not
one of them shorter than me. Nothing. No help.
Well, that's just gonna be what it's gonna be.
That was just gonna be what it's gonna be that day. One of them, what stuck out to me was one of them goes, because I was like talking like mad shit. It goes, oh, you talking so much shit. You need to watch out before you get blast back. I said, blast back with what? I forgot about that. which you was right to do and say though. I'm not gonna lie. He better slow his roll. He sounded stupid, right?
Bro.
He sounded real dumb.
And also just fake, because he knew damn well.
He knew damn well he wasn't going to blast
what you had under your jersey.
In the middle of the campus cafeteria and shit. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, man. Anyways, good times, bro.
But I always think about that. Like, what if he did have something to blast back on? He pulled that shit out. We're like,
we would have both been dead.
Blah.
Like, man, see, what you ain't know. Anyway, carry on. Yes. Please carry on with your wrap up. That was fun. Fun times on memory lane.
That was fun times, though. Man, I was a wild dude. I'm not that bad anymore, Mitch. Like, my plans now are like for world domination. It's not for like, it's better things, Look at Mitch looking at me like, how is that better? Like, he's like, how? Tell me how. But you get to be a part of it. Like, it's great. Shit. Anyways, have a good night. Have a good evening. Have a good morning. Anytime you're listening to this show, have a good drive at work, to school, whatever. I just hope you're having a good one. As always, if you like the show, share the show. If you like the show, leave the show a little like. No matter where it is. Oh, also, you guys, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or anything like that, you can like leave a review and tell us like how good or how horrible the show is. Because if it's great, we'll keep doing what we're doing, and if it sucks, we'll try to change it up. Not really, but we'll try. Anyways, say bye to the people, Mitch.
Pray for me, y'all. Logan's moving in the large-ass state of New York City, 3 minutes away from me. I'm not even saying goodbye. Just pray for me, y'all. Thank y'all. Peace, love, and blessings.
Out of the whole of New York, too. New York is a big state. Like, out of all of it. 3 minutes away from them. All right. I'm your host, Logan, and this has been the Milk and Toast Podcast, episode 26.